Hello, everybody at Massey Hyundai. This is Deanna, your coach with Phone Ninjas, and today I'm going to be reviewing with you your reporting for the month of December. Now, getting started here, you guys are at a 2.66. We want to continue to work towards getting to a 3.0 as a team, and also we want to get to a 60% appointment setting rate. As you can see, though, in the last month, we did see quite an increase from November to December, so let's keep that momentum going. And I really want you guys to focus on the contact information step. So this is where we want to tell the customer that we're going to check on the availability of the vehicle, that it's only going to take 10 minutes. We want to use the correct technique to ask for both the customer's name and phone number. And then rather than calling the customer back, we want to give them a reason to stay on the phone, put them on hold, and when you come back from hold, confirm availability, and then sell the appointment. And that's the other step I want you to focus on, is the selling the appointment step. We want to use the correct technique when asking for the appointment. Ask more than once, but then we also want to make sure that we're using the tentative appointment technique. If we can't set a specific appointment time, let's use the tentative appointment technique. And then at the very least, if we don't set an appointment or a tentative appointment time, we want to set the expectation that we're going to follow up with the customer. Now, what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing is that we ask for the appointment, but we don't go and we don't push any further than that. And so just know that you have those other options. Asking for a tentative appointment time, and then at the very least setting the expectation that we're going to follow up with the customer. Often we hang up the phone and tell the customer to call us back if they're interested in going further, and so we want to take control over that. In addition to reviewing calls, we do want to make sure that we are reviewing calls in a timely manner. Shout out to Nicholas, though, for getting above a 60% appointment rate, and Reggie was very close to that. Again, we want to get to a 60%. Courtney and Steven have done a great job reviewing their calls. Let's make sure Nicholas and Reggie and Travis are also reviewing their calls in a timely manner. And in addition to reviewing calls, we want to maintain the certification levels, which in general you guys are doing a nice job of. Travis, Reggie, and Nicholas, who are the last few people who I've actually scored, they still have some certifications they need to go back and take a look at. So we just want to make sure that we're staying on top of that. All right, so let's take a look and see where your dealership is ranked by score. Out of about 227 dealerships, you guys are ranked number 117, so almost right there in our top 100, about the 50% rate. And so we just want to continue. We are in a new year, so we are starting over with our top dealership contest. So we want to work towards, as I mentioned before, 3.0 and then a 4.0, but we do want to work towards getting into this top 4. And so every time your dealership gets in the top 4, you get put into a hat. And then at the end of the year, so now in January 2021, we are going to pick a name from the hat, and that dealership wins a trip to Hawaii. So you have an entire 12 months to get to get into the top 4, to get some entries into this contest. We haven't done the drawing yet for 2019, but again, every time you are in the top 4, you get put into a hat, and then at the end of the year, we'll pick a name from the hat, and the dealership will win a trip to Hawaii. You can use it however you'd like to reward your team. But of course, for the individual, they have the perfect score contest. So every time someone gets a perfect score, their name gets put into a hat. And again, we haven't done the quarter 4 drawing just yet, but every time their name gets put into a hat, every time they get a perfect score, their name gets put into a hat, and at the end of the quarter, we'll pick a name from the hat, and that individual will win a trip to Hawaii paid for by Phone Ninjas. So that's an individual incentive that we have for them. All right, so let's take a look at your hold time. We do have operators that are scored. In general, your operators do a good job. One of the things that we ask is that they jump back on the line and touch base with the customer if the customer is going to be on hold for longer than 20 seconds. They do that pretty consistently. We just want to make sure that we are doing that. We're jumping back on the line before we get to that 20-second mark. And right now, your average is about 56 seconds of hold time from when the customer calls in to when a salesperson picks up. This is pretty good. It's under a minute. We want to keep these under a minute, between 30 and 45 seconds ideally, but under a minute is perfectly fine, so that's good. And also, let's take a look and see, one of the things that we ask that you guys do is ask for the source code. So how did the customer hear about the dealership, or where did they see a vehicle advertised? So we always want to get that source code. We're not very consistent with that, so I'd like to see some more consistency with that. If the customer offers up that information, I always make note of it. But right now, most of the folks are going to your dealership, and they're also asking a lot of times about the pricing. We do have a few people who are repeat customers, 2 people who said they were on the internet. Anytime someone says they're online or they were on the internet, we just want to make sure that we are asking for the specific website. Was it Cars.com or AutoTrader? We just wanted to be as specific as possible. You did have someone on Cars.com in the last 90 days and also someone who drove by your dealership. Now, if you have any questions, my contact information is here at the top of the screen. I'm happy to help, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and Happy New Year.